Hello and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the channel. The name is Ringneck 101. So we're gonna be talking about a snow speeder, but this one's a bit different. It is about the Battle of Hoth. If you remember, in The Empire Strikes Back, when Luke Skywalker and the rebellion find themselves cornered as the Empire strikes back with their AT-ATs, also known as all-terrain all-terrain armored transport. So I will be showing the figurines and the differences, things that I find amazing, things that they could have improved. So the set would be this one here. If you see in the box, set 75 to 59, which comes with 309 pieces, and it includes a special minifigure right here. You see on this side of Landon Calrissian, celebrating 20 years of making and designing Lego Star Wars sets from 1999 to 2019. That's the front of the box. Comes with Luke Skywalker, Dak Ralter, and a Rebel Trooper. That's the back of the box. Basically all the functions it does, the craft, the satellite, which I'll get to that function and why I am not too satisfied with it, but I've accepted it. It does talk to you in the booklet a little bit about the 1999 original snow speeder that comes out here in the picture. And it just gives you a little bit of information to celebrate the 20 years of Lego making Star Wars sets. So here are the figurines, and to begin with, opening the snow speeder, we got this guy with its lightsaber, and a blaster over here, and it's in a happy expression. We got this guy here. I'll put him down there and face the camera down. Never mind. We got this guy here, which is Luke Skywalker, same prints that do look related as the ones on the 2018 Red 5 Luke, which kind of looks weird because I know if you see the Battle of Hoth on The Empire Strikes Back, you do have different outfits when they are using the snow speeder, as well as I think it's weird why Lego went this time with black hands when they are usually using white gloves, if I don't mistake, when they are in the Battle of Hoth. That's him all around. We do have the same print as the Red 5 set from 2018. If you remove his helmet, you'll see his first facial imprint, which you have seen already. And then you have a much more either mad or freaked out. Luke Skywalker on the back right there. Just do note, when you put in the helmet, you're not gonna cover their back expression entirely. You still see the belt that goes under their chin to secure the helmet. So going into the helmet is just the older version of the helmet. Yes, Lego had to go with the old helmets due to the fact that when you sit both men in the snowspeeder, you cannot use the new helmets, which you can go check out my video on Red 5 to see the new helmet, which now doesn't have the character with the imprint yellow on their face, but it has orange plastic squeezed on the side of it, and it has its own visor and it's bigger with more detail. So it's not the character with the visor slapped on his face, it's a visor alone, and it's just the character's facial expression, but no visor over it. So that'll be Luke Skywalker. And here's the next figurine, which is Dak Ralter with his blaster himself as well. Same design in the body. No need to change it. They're both partners in the speeder. A much more happy-go-lucky Dak Ralter. The only thing that changes would be the helmet. Thus, Luke Skywalker's helmet is red, and his has the blue rebel sign or emblem on each side. That'll be the side of his helmet. The back that has no design, just like the top. And then the other side. Taking off the helmet, you do get the one I showed you right here without a helmet. The happy-go-lucky Dak Ralter expression here. And right behind it you get the freaked out Dak Ralter, which seems to be the one where he's about to get shot and die. And once again, it is kind of freaky and disappointing how Lego went with black hands for both of them, and they should have picked white hands, because in the Battle of Hoth, I believe they are using white gloves and not black ones, so Lego should have included black hands. So that is Dak Ralter. Over here by the satellite, which I'll get to in a minute, we have this guy. A regular snow trooper, rebel, snow trooper, rebellion trooper, with his high-end, really amazing blaster. This guy, as you can see, if I take the blaster off, because it gets in the way, he only has one facial expression. You take off the helmet, there's nothing behind him besides the backpack. And if you remove the head, take off the backpack, that's the trooper's body, printed front and from behind. And once again, you put them back together with this helmet, and that's the complete look of a rebel trooper with his backpack. You can also remove the visor and bring it down, put it on him, and there you go. He's wearing his goggles. To keep snow out of his eyes. So that's the snow rebel trooper from the Battle of Hoth. And last but not least, or should I call it the greatest figurine in this set, would be this gentleman over here. That'll be Landon Calrissian from 2003. There he goes. That's Landon himself. You might not be able to see the expression on his face due to the lighting here, but it's just a happy expression with his mustache. The only other big difference you're going to see right here if I remove his cape. Which, yes, he gets a cool looking cape with a baby blue on the outside and yellow on the inside, and that's Lando's cape. Here's the front print, just a regular old Landon Calrissian print. The only thing that changes from the 2003 version that came out in 2003, not this 2003 original updated version, because it all looks the same. The only thing that changes is the back, which does say 20 years Lego Star Wars. They do have a couple of sets like these that have minifigures that'll probably have the same message as Lando in the back that states that Lego's celebrating 20 years of making Star Wars sets. So that'll be Lando itself. He does come with this cool stand right here, which its main purpose is to illustrate that he's a collector's figurine. It says 20 years Lego Star Wars 1999 to 2019, and it has a figurine's name as Landon Calrissian. And for the next part, we got this thing. Before I show the speeder itself, we got this thing over here, which is a satellite. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of this satellite. The fact that they did go a little bit cheap, and they should have included a full square, not this half triangle. It's like taking a square and cutting it right on two edges in half to make a triangle. Not a big fan of the base. You do have these things attached here, which I'll get in a minute too. Which are these? They are goggles that the trooper can wear to scan out there and see what's coming, or if there's any Imperial forces coming towards the rebel base. The only thing that makes this satellite weird would be this part here. If I am able to take it off. I'm not a big fan of this. Yes, it was put there for child's play, you know. Children build it, they can play with it. You press it like so, and there it fired the piece, and that's what it's supposed to do. Simulate the satellite's laser cannon blast in to the air to bring down whatever the hell you're trying to shoot down if you're a rebel pilot. Other than that, the antenna was built fine. It's big, it's bulky, it's awesome, it spins around in circles. It has freedom of movement. It goes in a 360. The antenna does angle down, up, with so much freedom, as well as this part, which is considered a console to control the antenna, but it doesn't have any prints or anything. It's just kind of weird and opaque. No prints, no console, no buttons, nothing, just a brick right there that acts like a console. The antenna flips up and down, which is pretty good. It has great 360 movement. The only downside to it is the fact that you have that extra piece right there that I'm showing you here. But that's the way it was designed. Can't complain about it. The rebel trooper sits like so up there. So that's the set. As you see there, the antenna's angled up. That's where the rebel trooper sits with his blaster, and then you have one of his hands nearly touching the console, so the antenna would have a 360 spin still, as he is in charge of handling the antenna and shooting down any aircraft that comes near. Even TIE fighters that come and blast at the shield reactors. If you saw the movie, The Empire Strikes Back. So that's about it for that. So now we're going to bring in the aircraft, which is this one here. This is a snowspeeder. They did go very happy and enthusiastic on the sticker department, because this part here on the one from the 90s and the other ones, I believe, before you get to the 2014, you would get one of these matte finish spot pieces, which had a printed piece in the front, not a sticker. Here, everything you see on this speeder is based on a sticker. This is a sticker. These here on the side are stickers, as well as the side of the cockpit here. The other side of the cockpit, right here and right there, those are stickers. There's two ways to open the cockpit. The only good thing that I like is that Lego hasn't gone cheap, and the cockpit piece is still printed. They don't offer you a sticker in the box where they tell you, hey, slap the sticker on there yourself. Nope, they still print it. Everything is printed. You can either hold this part here, and you open the cockpit like so, to act as a single driver, which Luke would go in there. Spin it around as we close back the cockpit. Open the whole cockpit, and you do have that thing, if you see it right there on camera, that's the console. It's just a regular old console. It doesn't have anything special. It doesn't have a, like the other ones where they should have kept it the same way, which has the targeting console that has a AT-AT getting targeted at. It's just a regular old console with the buttons and the switches and everything else. On the back side, you do have another one that has a regular console, and it does show the like a ball on top, which is the, I'm able to take it off, which I am. It does show a ball on top, which that simulates the blaster in the back, and this is the other console right there as you see it. That is the other console right there. Just the mountain range, the buttons, the switches, and the blaster back there. This is a very good designed console. I really enjoy it. The one in the front is okay, but it's not that wow, I love it. It's not that mesmerizing. It's just buttons and switches. This is the way the cockpit opens all the way. You have a thing right here, a storage bin. You can throw in several blasters. Ya lo quebraste.
De todos modos se quebra.
Porque ese no era botón.
Sí. El botón para bajar esto, mira. Mira.
Ese no es botón.
Sí.
So that's it. That's part to store stuff in, and there we go. So showing the speeder around, like you saw, the engine parts here have got a little bigger and bulkier. They do have more detail to them. The only thing I do not find amazing would be the back blaster. It does have a 360 degree move right here, 360. But it's just like any other blaster, which is child's play. You do have the same red piece that blasts away and makes it into a child's play, turns it into what it is, an actual toy for little kids to blast and yay, have fun. You do have this part here, which I will not pull out because obviously you've seen it in other videos. I will not pull it out all the way, and that's this here. The hook here that hooks onto all the ATs. And gets them ready to be brought down. But do keep in mind that in this one you do not have the feature like the movie where you can press a button and the cable releases and the AT starts walking and then can't move anymore and trips on his own on the cable, and it flips either forward or sideways and it falls down to the ground and finally gets destroyed on his own weight. Moving to the top of the crap. There you go. Once again, everything's in detail. You do not get a sticker or a printed piece this time. You get this air vented thing, which is a piece that's very well welcomed underneath the orange blocks right there. The orange brick. You do not get that much orange till you flip it underneath in the cockpit, underneath where the landing gear is, which you do get some orange hidden in there. This side, these two orange pieces back here, right there, the other one over here, and the back of the engines, the back of the craft, where you could simulate, you know, the detachment if you have an AT-AT by taking this off, letting it go, and there you go. You simulated the release of the cable, but the whole piece has to come off, obviously. So at the bottom you do have the landing gear. That's these three pieces. This piece here was the one chosen for the landing gear. You do have three of them. Then you have these spring-loaded shooters that are at par with the front blaster. So when you blast it, it looks like you're blasting from the regular blasters here in the front. The cones, as you can see. And then you have these things that pop up, which reveal more engine parts, which are the air brakes. 1, 2. Those are the air brakes. And you know, that's pretty much it for this snowspeeder, besides having a well-designed cockpit. I really like this cockpit. It was well designed. I like this 20th anniversary design. Very well designed snowspeeder. Yeah, they could have done improvements in the blaster. The antenna is really big and beautiful, but that shooter on the side kind of makes it weird, because it makes it like child's play, like a kid's gonna grab it and play with it and shoot those things like the blaster here in the back itself. But all in all, it's a very good, well designed, just that sometimes it would be better if they would go back with by eliminating this piece and bringing this piece back with this in the front printed and not a sticker. Prints right here as well, and here, as well as on the other side. And the only stickers that could be added would be if I will show you right now. I wouldn't mind having stickers here on this cockpit here. This part of the cockpit. I wouldn't mind if the only stickers that were included were these two on this part of the cockpit where the shooter sits, the one in charge of manning the guns and the shooting and all that stuff, the weapons man. I wouldn't mind having these two stickers, but if everything else was printed, that would be really great and would make a good part on Lego's behalf. But just like the 2014 model, which I do not have, but I've seen videos on it. It's practically the same concept. Kind of closely related to this one, but they do go sticker happy and stick stickers everywhere, and they give you a sticker set to put on it. So the last part I will show is the figurines and how they sit. Like I said, you see, you take one blaster, you throw it in there. The other blaster goes in there. That's the storage bin. So you take this guy and you sit him down there. That's Dak Ralter. So he sits right there. You do have to have his hands sticking up in the air a bit, because if not, the cockpit won't close. And then over here we got Luke Skywalker. Whoops. So Luke Skywalker sits there too with Dak Walter. Luke's hands could be put down a bit, you know. You can put down Luke's hands more than Dak Walter's, and that's how the figurines sit in the cockpit. And as you can see, Lego had to go with the older helmet design because the new ones were not going to fit. And I will give you a close-up on the reason why. As you can see there in the camera, there's a very small gap between both helmets, and if Lego would have included the new helmets that have the visor squeezed into it and not painted into the characters, you wouldn't be able to sit both characters, or the craft would have to have been modified and gotten bigger in size. But to be honest, really wonderful craft. Lego did a good job on the design, except for the few things that I pointed out that I don't like, but I learned to accept them. Lego did a good job. Very much attention to detail with the engines and everything. Very beautiful 20th anniversary snowspeeder. And that's how it is when you close the cockpit. You got Luke back right in the front, who's visible. You got Dak Ralter, which you could see his hands from behind, but it's not easy to see his face in the cockpit. But that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. Please hit that subscribe and like button. Don't forget to give a nice punch with your finger to that bell icon, so whenever a video pops up, you will be notified if I uploaded something new. Always remember, you can go to my other videos. Check out the video I did on the 2018 Red 5 with Luke Skywalker and Biggs Darklighter. Then you can check out the new helmet designs there with molded visor. And you can write in any of the videos in the comment section, which helmet do you prefer? Do you like the older version, which they should have added a thin visor to the front? Or do you like the new helmet that has better imprints and much more attention to detail with the injected all around molded visor? Let me know. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.